let's talk about cord cutting sessions. I've been doing cord cutting since 2011, and there are lots of different ways to cut cords. You can go out on the internet, on YouTube, you can listen to tons of videos. They can share lots of different practices, rituals, ways, meditations where you can cut cords. But what is a cord? We're talking about emotional cords. So, what is that, number one? Well, an emotional cord is any time you've had an emotion that's lasted 15 or more minutes, you have a cord to it. So remember that time when you got upset, when you were frustrated, when you were angry, when you were sad, when you were disappointed, and you couldn't move through it, and you held on to that for 15 minutes or more. Well, believe it or not, you have a cord. We have cords to the people in our lives, our parents, our children, our partners, our friends, our businesses, our jobs, our careers, our schools, our teachers, any of that where you've had a deep relationship with someone, you have a cord to them and you have many cords to them. I always encourage people to come and get cords cut with their parents, their siblings, their partners, and like, well, if I do that, does that mean I won't love them anymore? That I end that relationship? No, but it means that you're not emotionally triggered by their behaviors, their experience, their actions. You don't have that trigger coming in and you're not responding the same way. So when we get cords cut, with any type of relationship, any trauma, anytime we've been rejected, anytime we've been abused. I've had people come and cut cords where they were part of a group and they got pushed out, or they didn't ever feel like they were part of it. We cut those cords because there's emotional pieces to being hurt, that we weren't accepted, we weren't included, or maybe you were included for a long period of time and then all of a sudden you got pushed out. Those are cords, and we can cut those so that you can move forward. I've cut cords with people that wanted to sell their business, that were ready to move on to something else. And we cut those cords because, believe it or not, you're working a job, you're working for a corporation, you're working for a business. You have lots of cords to that because you've had emotions that have lasted more than 15 minutes. What about siblings or that you haven't had great relationships with? We can cut those cords. What about a divorce or a separation or a breakup? We can cut those cords. And it makes a huge difference. What about that mother-in-law that drives you crazy, or that father-in-law that has never accepted you? We can cut those cords. So then when you are around them or you spend time with them, you don't react in the same way because you don't have those same emotional connections anymore. And you get to step back and look at the relationship in a whole new perspective without the emotional triggers, without the emotional upset. I have had hundreds of cords cut on me, and I've probably cut thousands of cords. Here's the thing. Every time you do a cord cutting series, and I talk about it in a series because anytime you've had a relationship, a connection that's lasted for any period of time, you need 5 sessions with me, 5 cord cuttings. I cut all the earth cords, I cut all the water cords, I cut all the air cords, I cut all the fire. And in the last session, I go into the Akashic records and I sever contracts or things that aren't healthy for you to carry further, things that you're ready to release and let go so that you feel that freedom. I've had people also ask me, I've heard about cord cuttings, but I've also been told they can come back. Yeah, if you continue to experience those relationships in the same way, yes, you can bring them back. If you continue to hold on to it and keep reworking it in your system, yes, you can bring them back. But if you go at it as this is a new experience, I'm not going to bring this back, I don't want this experience, then you're not going to bring them back. Remember, you have free will, you have free choice. You get to choose what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life. The new year is a great time to cut cords, what relationships are you ready to totally release or free yourself from that emotional anxiety trigger that you have so that your other relationships can be more healthy? That's right. These cords impact every relationship in your life. And the more of them you can cut away, the more that you can release, the better your relationships are going to be going forward. My name is Vialet Rayne. I'm the high priestess of the Sacred Temple Mystery School, and I have been cutting cords since I started in the mystery school in 2011. If you have cords that you're ready to release and you would like to have a powerful modality and someone to be your guide as you release these energies, I hope that you will consider me as your guardian or guide as we cut these cords for 2026 so that you do not continue to carry them forward.